Hello, and welcome back to another Pirkei Avot text explication video essay with me, your host, Rabbi Drew. We are now on the 23rd text in the 5th chapter. That's right, chapter number 5 of Pirkei Avot, text number 23, and this one is actually really short. Ben Hehe Omer Lefum Tsa'ara Agra. That's it. Ben Hehe, the son of Hehe, we don't get his first name, which is just like the previous text in which we had Ben Bagbag. Again, we only know that he was the son of someone named Bagbag. We don't know his first name. Here too, we don't know his first name. And he says three words. Lefum Tsara Agra. That's it. Now, what's fascinating is that this is in Aramaic, and it translates to, according to the labor is the reward. But I do want to point out before we get into the actual content of this is that it's in Aramaic. Just as I pointed out with Ben Bagbag's saying, we have rarely encountered Aramaic throughout Pirkei Avot. Hebrew has really been the dominant language, and yes, we did have some sayings of Hillel in the first and second chapters that were in Aramaic as well, but really Hebrew has predominated throughout Pirkei Avot. And having said that, he says, according to the labor is the reward. Now, I think there have been a lot of times in our lives that we have experienced that we've put in effort, we've put in labor, we've put in energies, and the reward is not commensurate with those efforts. But I think what is novel here about what Ben Hehe is saying is that that's not necessarily something that's applicable to everything, because we've experienced that not always do we get out of something what we put into it. But I think going back to really sort of the broad push of Pirkei Avot, which is really putting forward the value of studying Torah, of Torah study, that I think the context of what Ben Hehe is saying here is that it's really about Torah study. That what you put into your studying of Torah, you get out. That it is that your energies, that your efforts in Torah study are commensurate with the rewards that you will receive from that endeavor. So that's what Ben Hehe says. That having been said, I want to say this is not only the 23rd text in the 5th chapter, it is also the final text in the 5th chapter. And not only that, this is the 5th and final chapter of Pirkei Avot. And yes, I know that there is a collection of texts that are frequently appended in what is called the 6th chapter of Pirkei Avot, but that really is a later collection of texts, and I will not be dealing with those, although you are welcome to study them on your own. Many times where you'll find these 5 chapters of Pirkei Avot, you'll also find that 6th one, but that's not originally part of these 5 chapters. So 5th and final chapter, we have now concluded. So I want to say thank you. It's been quite an interesting journey. This is, by the way, if you're counting, this is the 97th. That's right, the 97th presentation, text exploration that we have done, nearly 100 of these. And I'm very glad that we were able to do this. And just to take us back to where it all started, it began in the first week of January 2021, and now here we are in the the very beginning of the 3rd week of June 2021. So we're in a very different place where we are from where we were in the very beginning of January, when the coronavirus was still pretty significant up there as a threat. Vaccinations had not yet been administered here, and now we're in a very different place. We have programming, we have the dining room open, we have many things going on. The coronavirus is not as much of a looming threat as it once was due to the widespread vaccination. So we've definitely come a long way from where we began in this series to where we are now. I hope you've also enjoyed this series. And just to connect it with what Ben Hehe said in this, according to the labor is the reward, what one puts in is what one gets out. And this whole project, this whole series has been really fascinating. There are many of these texts I had come across many a time and was quite familiar with and had definitely some opinions and thoughts on them, but there were many that even though I had come across them, in reading and thinking, I really hadn't considered them or really thought about them so much. And in sharing these with you, it really gave me an opportunity to think through some of these, especially in articulating and speaking them out. So I hope you've enjoyed this series, and I would like to continue, have encore presentations of these now that we have them. They're available to us, available for you to watch and to enjoy. And so I just want to say thank you so much. And again, going back to what Ben Hehe said, according to the labor is the reward. Lefum tzara agra. It's been actually quite rewarding to really get to go and explore this very classical collection of wisdom from our sages. So thank you so much for watching.